Could we acknowledge ourselves for showing up tonight? Welcome to A Course of Love. For those of you who are here for the first time, my name is Earl Purdy, and you are safe. I'm not trying to, you don't have to worry about me trying to convert you, change you, get you to believe in something that I want you to believe, or you don't need to accept anything I say. You don't have to welcome anything I say. Some of the stuff I say may be hard to believe. Some of it's going to be startling. Nobody's asking anybody to judge it, but if you use it, you'll see that it's true. And what I would invite you to do, since most of the people who come to my class come through one time, I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, because it's intense. And in most cases, you know, we'll tell ourselves, I know I used to do it. I tell myself I'm ready for something new. And then I forget that means I'm going to hear something different. And so when I hear the different thing that's different from what I already believe, then my resistance comes up, even though I said I wanted to hear something new. And I noticed that about myself. Have you noticed that about yourself?
Yeah.
That sometimes when you want to hear something, you say you're ready for something new, and then when something new shows up, you find resistance come up. So that's okay. That's okay. It's no accident that we're together tonight. So if you don't hear but one sentence that makes any sense to you, then that might be the reason why you showed up tonight. I'm going to push ahead in the material. I've gone through the chapter on attention and wrote down some of the main points in there. And I'm going to do some reading, and then I'm going to share some information, then I'm going to throw it open for some discussion. But like I said last week, I need your help in keeping the discussions to 5 minutes, even if it ends up that I'm the main one doing it. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like most of the people who are attracted to my classes are people who really want to hear the information more than they want to spend the whole hour analyzing. Right. So, yeah, because I know that's the way I feel. You know, I need to hear the answer. I need to hear another way of look at things. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to be happy and not correct. I'd rather be happy now than to be right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm gonna do a quick little review of what I covered last week, and I'm gonna do it in a repetition manner, where hopefully you can just hear it. Just hear it. Yeah. This is what I call a spiritually based class. So I will be using the G word. I know it's rough, but I will be using the God word, and I'll leave it up to you to give that whatever interpretation you need to give it in order to let go of any resistance you have to that word. But I'm really talking about the love, that which created us. All right. So I'm going to cover about 5 paragraphs. And if you want to use it as a time to just kind of tune in and close your eyes if you feel like it, to kind of let go of the day, that'd be great. And breathe and relax and relax and breathe and breathe and relax and relax and breathe and breathe and relax and relax and breathe and breathe and relax and breathe and breathe and relax and breathe and 'To attend means to be present. To attend means to be of service. To attend means to be of service. To be present. To be of service is to be present. To be of service to God is not to be a slave to God, but to attend to God. That just means to give the Creator your attention. Give your relationship with your Creator your care. Give to your Creator your devotion. Give to your Creator your willingness to serve instead of your willingness to use. I have a willingness to serve instead of a willingness to use. I have a willingness to serve instead of a willingness to use. I have a willingness to serve instead of a willingness to use. I have a willingness to serve instead of a willingness to use. It's for God to make use of you. So the Creator can make use of you if you have a willingness to serve as opposed to a willingness to use. Let the universe be of service to you rather than trying to let the universe be of service to you rather than trying to use the universe to accomplish your goals. Let the universe be of service to you rather than trying to use it to accomplish your goals. Let the universe be of service to you rather than trying to use it to accomplish your goals. Unity is regained through wholeheartedness. Your return to unity, your return to oneness, your return to connectedness is your return to your full power and your ability to be of service to the Creator and your brothers and sisters. Your ability to be of service to the Creator and your brothers and sisters is your return to unity, is your return to full power. To be of service to God is to return to God. Your return to unity is all the Creator seeks from you. Your service is but dedication to you being the accomplished. You have no need to concern yourself with anything other than this goal of returning to unity, returning to peace, returning to oneness, returning to love, returning to freedom, returning to unity, returning to oneness, returning to abundance, returning to safety, returning to peace, returning to sanity. That is the one goal, is to return to sanity, to return to unity, to return to trust, to return to love, to return to freedom, to return to forgiveness, to return to abundance, to return to joy, to return to happiness, to return to unity. That is our true goal. That is our one goal. Your divinity is a state unaltered. You cannot lose your divinity. You cannot lose the love. You cannot lose the love. You can't lose real 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 love. Your eternal state as real love remains unaltered no matter what you may think about yourself. No matter how you may feel about yourself. You are still loved. You are still loved by that which created you. No matter what you think you've done, everything that you've done, any mistake can be corrected. And it can be corrected in love. You deserve love. You are love. You didn't create yourself. 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 You are as love created you. You are as love created you. You are as God created you. You are as love created you. You are as love created you. Love created you. I know you may feel like that may not be true about you, but that doesn't matter. You didn't create yourself. If you bake a cake, the cake can't tell you what it thinks about itself. You the creator of the cake, so you're the one that can judge the cake as cool or good or whatever. So you didn't create yourself, so that which created you is the only thing that can judge you. And the Course is saying, and that judgment is that you are love. You are real love. That bag is, oh, it's not a bag, okay. It's just, I just hear the mail. So just for a minute, I'd like you to pretend that you might not be what you think you are. Just for a second, let go of the idea that you are who you think you are. Just for a minute. I'd like to ask you to entertain the idea that what you know may not be all there is to know. I'd like you to entertain the idea that you might not know everything and I might not know everything. And entertain the idea that the more unhappy and upset you are, the more incorrect you are about everything. So if you're particularly miserable today, then you're wrong. Whatever you're telling yourself is absolutely a lie. That's not the way it is at all. Whatever it is you're upset about, you're never upset for the reason you think. You're not upset because of what you say you're upset about. That's what the truth is telling us, that we don't have to believe. Isn't that a trip? Yeah, I'm never upset for the reason I think. I'm really upset because I only see something that's not there, and that's the past. I'm upset right now because I'm thinking of something that's already happened to me. I'm upset right now because I'm thinking of something that's already happened to me. So I'm really upset, not for the reason I think. I think I'm upset because of what I think happened in the past, but I'm really upset because I'm focusing on it now. Because whatever you're upset about happened in the past, so by definition, it's gone. So if it's gone because you're here, right? Okay, since you're here, whatever it is that happened in the past ain't here.
True that.
True that. So the only place that it must be happening is where? In my mind. So if I'm feeling bad right now, it's really I'm feeling bad because of what I'm telling myself right now in my mind, and not because of what's happening right now, because what's happening right now is I'm sitting in a room full of cute, juicy people. That's what's happening right now. Right now I'm in the room with you. So whatever's got me upset about anything is just because I'm not being present, and it said to not be present is to not attend and not to be of service. So we're in chapter 29. So for an hour, I'm going to tell you loving things about you. So I'm going to probably stir up lots of suspicion. Okay? The course teaches that there's nothing that people are more afraid of than love. And that the more loving you are, the more suspicious they get.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to have an agenda if you're loving. I mean, you just couldn't actually just be a loving person. There's got to be an agenda. I can't even conceive of you could just actually be genuine. That's just how afraid we become. We've become so afraid that we think it's smarter to distrust first.
That's right.
That's how afraid we become. Isn't that a trip? That we actually are so warped in our thinking that now we believe fear is the appropriate response to something new. And I want out of that perception. That's why I'm here. So it says here, and I'm at 29.9, it says the time of tenderness is the time of your approach to unity. The atonement that is accomplished here is the means of opening the gate to your approach. No one has closed this gate to you, but you by your own hand pulled the gate shut as you departed your heavenly home. And you do not remember that it's your own hand that can open the gate again. It was me that closed the gate on my happiness, and it's me that can open the gate to my happiness. It is a gate of illusion, of mist of clouds before the sun. Your hand is outstretched now, and your light is clearing away the mist. The gateway to unity stands before you, an arch of golden light beneath a rainbow vibrant with the colors of life. Life, not death, assures your approach, and the Creator itself will guide your entry. Many of you have noticed the consistency with which you have glorified falsely that which you would imitate from creation. In work, too, you will find an example of this, for you all know that work and service somehow go together. In many cultures has work thus been glorified and made to seem as if it is the proper use of life. It's like Americans have a tendency to live to work.
Right.
Instead of working so they can live, Americans tend to live so they can work. Now, even when you get off from work, you're not off, from what I heard. That a lot of people have jobs that goes on far into the night after they leave. Anybody familiar with that? You know, I've been with people and known people who never got off from work. They would spend their evening preparing for work the next morning. And then they would try to squeeze in maybe an hour or two of connecting with you before they go to bed. To me, that's not living, but that's just my perception. So, how do you spend your day? Are you spending your day doing what you love? Are you spending your day trying to make it? I support you spending your day doing what you love. I like to see you doing that. That's what I like to witness. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The truth teaches that in order for something to manifest, there needs to be an agreement. So if I say I want to join on your happiness, it would be great if a part of you said, I'll join you on that idea.
No.
I'll join you on that idea, even if I don't know how it can happen. Isn't that cool? So if there's something you're troubled about right now, rather than trying to figure out how you can solve that problem, why don't you join with somebody or your higher self on the idea of it being healed? See what happens. Having to understand the healing is the booby prize, and it also takes a lot of time. You know, it's like me walking in this room tonight and not being willing to cut on that light until I knew how electrical systems operated. And at the point I could be taught how electrical systems operated, then I turn on the light. We still be sitting up here in the dark. Right. So for you to think your understanding of something is necessary before you can get the result is a booby prize. That's a trick of your ego to slow down your manifestation.
Wow.
You don't have to know the laws of aerodynamics to take a plane to Las Vegas. You just have to know that you need to get on the plane. Right? You need to know the conditions of the flight, not how to fly. The condition is I need to pay a really ticket, right? And then I need to be at the airport. You see what I'm saying? What you're doing is just obeying the conditions to take the flight. You don't know nothing about it, and I don't know for most of us unless we're pilots. We don't know the rest of the stuff. So again, it wasn't necessary for me to know everything about it before I could fly. You don't have to know everything about exactly how to have a loving relationship before you can have one. You don't have to know everything about the laws of abundance before you can have abundance. It's really about allowing it and letting go of every block that keeps you from experiencing it, letting it go. The condition is peace. It's like a miserable person focusing on the laws of abundance. It's like, no, focus on the fact that abundance is your natural state. That you naturally deserve it, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Because if you don't look at it that way, you set up the thought system that you got to earn it through some type of toil and struggle, and you forget that there are many people who experience abundance in the form of money, for instance, who didn't work for it for a day. So that idea that you got to work for it to have it is not true. They're the proof. It don't mean you have to have rich parents either. It means they had the consciousness that created it. That's why it's there. That's too simple, isn't it? Yeah, that's much too. I would much rather blame white folk.
Boy, you scared me when you said that.
Yeah, you can tell I'm a real racist. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I love white people.
Because we're abundant.
And you're abundant and you're me.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's right. We are each other. We are one. We are the one looking like many. We are the one looking like many. That's who we are. And I can't act like I'm separate 24 hours a day, so I at least arranged a couple of hours a week that I call teaching classes that I had an opportunity to experience some sanity and some oneness. Yes. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I meant to bring this magazine. I got Time magazine that came in my mail. I don't know how it started coming, but it started coming. And I was looking at John Stewart, and he was joking about he was holding up Time magazines from all over the world. And so he was holding one, and he was saying that, you know, in other countries, this week's Time magazine is talking about, you know, what's happening in these other countries, or what's happening with the war, or what's happening with human relations, and what we need. I mean, like really talking about the serious stuff that's going on in the world. trying to make people aware of what's going on. And then the American edition of Time magazine had on the cover 2 dogs.
Yes.
And the 2 dogs, and it was saying, and the caption was "Doggy Friendships." That's what we get. That's ridiculous, y'all. Everybody else in the world gets, and Putin was now trying to do blah blah blah, and there's a new person, and this is what's like really what's happening in the illusion, right?
Right.
Americans' information is so filtered, it's so controlled that we got 2 little doggies, and it was talking about doggy friendship. And that was hilarious to me. It is a perfect example of how totally insane we've gone.
Right.
So we need to bring some love in here. We need to let some love come in here quick. Now. Not next week. Now. So I try to do my part in that by coming here and trying to allow myself to be as loving as I can be with you for an hour, regardless of how you react to me, regardless of how you feel about me, and regardless of whether you believe me, and regardless of whether you ever come back. I have one shot now. If I'm going to experience love, it's going to be now. If I'm going to have real friendships, it's going to be now. If it's going to have real connections, it's going to be now. It is hard for me to have a special love relationship because I can't limit my love to one person, and that's pretty much the rule for having love in this game that we're playing. It's too many cool people in my life for me to love one person. I think that's something that people do who don't have a whole lot of people that's loving them.
Yeah.
So they try to hold on to the one that does. That's okay. That's innocent. You have to have it the way you want it. But I want it bigger than that. I want it bigger than that. I don't want to have a relationship with you that would preclude me having a relationship with you.
Yeah.
I would want to have a relationship with you that said I couldn't go out to lunch with her. I'd never limit myself like that. And I'd never limit anybody else like that. Because love is not sex, and love is inclusive.
Yeah.
And so if I'm going to be on this planet, and I'm going to be a means for the love of God to come into this world, then I've got to be willing for the love to come through me the same way it comes through God, which is not singling people out for my love. Which you don't get a lot of help here on that. You very rare going to say anything about love and freedom in the same sentence and get a whole big applause in this world.
Yeah.
Because what most people are looking for is somebody to reenact their past and change it with to restore their wounded self-esteem because of what happened to them in their last relationships. The love that I didn't get from you, she's going to give it to me. So I'm not letting the love of God come through. I'm just trying to restore my ego.
Yeah.
And I need you to do it for me. And so my value comes from the way you see me and what you say about me. And the fact that I get all your attention and nobody else does. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. There's too many cool people in my life to do that. I can't do that. Even if it was the men, I never had another special love relationship.
That's right.
I would never shut myself off from all the love that God wants to give me out of fear. Out of fear. So I want to be of service to you. I want to love you, and I don't know how. Don't know how. Don't know how. I still get pissed off at you now. Hello. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you I love you and I'm never going to get upset about anything because I love you too much to ever get upset with you. You'll never hear me lie to you like that. It's the biggest lie somebody said to you. What we said, I bet you it was said a whole lot of times a couple of days ago. I bet you on Valentine's. By the way, happy VD. If you're going to have one, have a happy VD. Okay. Love is something that comes through us. It's not something that comes from us. It's not something that we make up. It's something that we allow. It's what created us. You don't make love, you let love. You make fear. You let love. I've made fear with some people. Haven't you?
Yeah.
You call it making love, but you really made fear. Think about how crazy you acted later.
Oh yeah.
Be honest now.
Yeah.
Think about how crazy you acted later.
Huge.
And you realize you made fear. But it sure felt good, didn't it? Oh, really? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry about that. I thought everybody was going to say, yeah. Like, nobody do it.
Till you woke up.
Felt good.
It's a trick question.
It was a trick question. I know we're in a holy class. We're in a place that's supposed to be called a church. So everybody, you know, we have to go into our church vibe. So therefore, we can't talk about the stuff we talk about all the time. That's why I want to hold church in a bar. So I can get some real communication like people communicate. You know, because when we're in places like this, we have a tendency to try to behave the way we think we should based on the programming we got in the past. You know, so you don't say nothing about getting laid in the class. Spiritual people don't talk about stuff like that.
Oh boy.
Isn't it great we're not spiritual? Woo! Sometimes spiritual people are the dullest people in the world. They're so afraid of everything and they think they're free.
Yeah.
They're afraid to say stuff, they're afraid to do stuff, they're afraid to explore. And then you talk to them and they'll talk like, I'm the freest person around, I'm spiritual. And you're scared to do anything. That's what I noticed about myself. It was a trip when I started to wake up to the game. I was running down on myself. I want some rebels in my life.
Yeah, that's right.
I want some rebels in my life. I want some rebellious children. The people who rebel against fear and rebel against hate and rebel against separation and rebel against control and rebel against not being free to be who you are.
That's right.
I want the rebellious people.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you in there? Are there any rebellious people in here? Yeah. Are you willing to love no matter what? Yeah. That's right. We tapping into our past pirate lives. And sometimes you have to watch me. I'm suffering from a condition called love Tourette's. And so sometimes just out of the clear blue sky I go, I love you. You're beautiful. You're a wonderful thing. You deserve happiness. Okay, that's love Tourette's. You can't help it. The Court said you should get to the point that you can't help but be loving. It's not even something you stop and think about. It's just the way you are. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That you were unconsciously cool. You were just cool and couldn't help yourself. You didn't even have to think about it no more. You were just loving. Wow. Right now I have to remember to be a lot. You know what I mean? I have to stop and go, oh, now what should I do besides cussing them out? Oh, you're an innocent child of light. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to tell you. I'm sorry, I was just getting ready to say you were a low-down bastard. Pardon me. That's not spiritual. But when you wake up to who you really are and you know that you're whole and complete and you love yourself completely, if somebody was to call you that, you would just laugh.
Yeah.
It would be so ridiculous to you that all you could do was laugh. Because you would know in your heart it was not true about you. You only get upset about the stuff somebody say about you that you believe.
Right.
You only get upset about the stuff that people say about you that you believe. You know, you call me a low-down dog and I get mad about it. I believe I'm a low-down dog. That thought would have just trickled right off my back. Yeah. I wouldn't even pay what? Evidently, you blind. I'm cool. I'm a loving being. We're going to be that way. We're going to be that way. Yeah. And vulnerable. Vulnerable.
We can do that.
And all the people that we meet every day are there just to give us an opportunity to practice those new perceptions. But the error that some people make is they surround themselves with nothing but the people they have to practice with, and not balance it enough with the people that you just naturally love and flow with. You got to balance it now. You can't be hanging out with who you need to make yourself love all the time. and things that you don't really move you and inspire you all the time. You've got to balance it out with people that you don't have to effort to love, situations you don't have to effort to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta play. You gotta have some fun.
Yes.
You know, grown folk, listen to me. Tap into your childlike nature. Don't let it die.
Totally right.
Don't let it die. Don't die from grown ups. It's one of the worst diseases around. Okay?
Yeah.
Things come to you faster when you're lighter. I'm telling you now. All that stuff you're struggling for, it'll come to you faster if you get lighter, Earl. Lighten up, dude. Lighten up, man. Dog. I love you so much, I just let you know how sick of you I am. God, sometimes I get sick of me. Don't you get sick of you sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
So you know that's not the real you, because you so cool, you could never be sick of you. So whoever you sick of, that's not you. That's something you made up. You would never have to try to love yourself. Yourself is so beautiful, you couldn't help but love it if you saw it. That's the proof we're not seeing ourselves. Is we trying to love ourselves. You're trying to love something that's not even you. That's deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
That's why it's so hard. It's not you.
Yeah, right.
You are loving. Somebody needs to remind us of that.
Yeah, yeah.
You deserve love. That means you deserve freedom. That's what that means. Freedom from fear, freedom from pain, freedom from separation, freedom from attack, freedom from sickness, freedom from loneliness. You deserve that. But you don't know what I've done. If you could really see the things that I've done and the stuff that's been done to me, you wouldn't feel that way about it, about me. And have anybody familiar with that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you really don't know me.
Right, right.
That's why you feel that way. I can't see your past until you tell me about it.
Yeah.
You don't have a past until you tell me about it. I want to focus on how you treat me right now. That's all that really matters to me. How you treat me right now. I'm sorry with how you treated your little brother. But right now it's me and you. How we going to treat each other right now is what the truth tells us. So don't be in such a hurry to tell people about your past. Why don't you tell them about who you want to be now? So they can support you in being who you want to be now. Because they're going to look at you through the lens of the past that you present them with. It'll be you putting that reel on the projector one more time by having to tell them about all your traumas. They don't really care.
That's true.
I guarantee you, most of the people in this room don't care about your problems. That's why you need to be here. You need to be in a room full of people that's not making your problems real.
Yeah.
That's not getting all caught up in what you think you're going through. As a matter of fact, they don't even know you're going through it, so you know they're not supporting it with their creative power. We some powerful jokers. But you put your energy and attention on it, that's what's going to manifest in your life. So do you want me to put my attention on your blessing or being blessed, or you want me to join with you with your story?
On the blessing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your story is nothing but what brought you to this point. And now it can no longer serve. That was the whole purpose of your past, was to bring you to right now where you made a decision for a different future for yourself. So your past has served its purpose. Your past has served its purpose.
Yes.
And it was good. Bless it. Say, I bless my past. I don't necessarily have to like it. I might still have some problems with some aspects of it, but I'm going to claim right now that my past served me in some way. So I will no longer be holding my past against my present and then recreating my past in my future. Because whatever you focus on right now, which is your point of power, you're going to project it into your future and meet it. That's the way it works. You know, most people spend the now moment reflecting back on something that happened to them in the past. So they're taking the power of God that they have in the present, focusing on something that happened in the past, and therefore create it in their future, their now. And so that's why people relive the same relationships and the same stuff over and over again. They don't even know they're the one that's repeating the loop because they still keep thinking about the past instead of realizing what's available to them right now. So I'm trying to learn how to see the love that's present right now. And sometimes I get caught up in the love that used to be. Yes.
Misery loves company, right? Or at least that's what I used to believe.
Well, it's true.
And
That's not that true.
Yeah, and it was very true and real to me, and that's the way I live. This is helping me get to a spot of realization that love needs company.
That's why I was asking for it.
And love is company.
That's why I was asking
it's
for
there. That's what is real. It's what is true and real. It's just it's just a quick flip of a perception.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
man.
it. Anybody else? Yeah.
I was reading The Way of Mastery, and in there it says, if you're in love, there is no loss or gain. It just is.
Yeah.
That's there always seems to be that underlying something that my brain takes me to. There's either a loss or a gain, even though I know that that's not true.
So now when you think about loss or gain, it can be a reminder that what you're thinking about is not love.
Love, right?
Right. And now you're using that thought to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I could recognize love when it showed up, then I could make better choices, right? So the way you recognize what love is by recognizing what love isn't.
Right.
Okay? Love isn't attack. Love isn't guilt. Love isn't anger. Love isn't depression. Love isn't lack. Love isn't loss. And so when I say that, love isn't jealousy. Love isn't possession. So when I say that, all of a sudden, it hits me, since I have all those feelings and emotions sometimes, that there are times when I don't recognize love.
Right.
And there's times I don't recognize love in myself. And then there's times I don't recognize love in you either. And when I don't, it's when I'm afraid of you. So fear is love unrecognized.
One more thing, like
Oh
if
my.
you were to tell him that I'm a dog, that's where that love. If I'm in love, I can laugh at that. But my fear is he's going to believe it.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
right. But remember that you don't have any control over that.
I'm a control freak.
Right, and that's and so is everybody else in this
Yeah.
room.
Right.
Okay, yeah, we all control freaks, and some of us are just plain freaks. All freaks, raise your hand. The innocent freaks will raise their hand. The guilty ones, they'll Free eeks F-R-E-E. Freak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freaks.
rock on.
Right?
Love that.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go to another paragraph or something, okay?
Pretty cool.
He says, for y'all know that work and service somehow go together. In many cultures has work thus been glorified and made to seem as if it's the proper use of life. And yet, as your father's child, your work is your creator's work. Your work is the work of creation. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Your creation is your service to the world, as your father's work is his service to you. So as you cannot imagine God toiling, so you should cease to imagine yourself toiling. Many of you think of yourself as toil. Think of life itself as toil. There is much you need to do just to stay alive. And if a thing is required, expected, necessary, your tendency is to rebel against it and to seek for ease in getting it done or ways to avoid doing it at all.
So
Thus
true.
have your paper plates and dishwashers taking the ritual from a meal.
That's right.
You're mass manufacturing the satisfaction of the handmaid. While this is neither good nor bad, this attitude of life as toil is part of your rebellion against ideas of service. You have no time for more than you do now. And you think of service, if you think of service at all, as something to be fit in here and there where service is convenient in your busy schedule. It is extremely important for you to realize that God's work, the Creator's work, takes place outside of time, as do all acts of true service or creation. This is not a readily understandable concept, but one that is necessary for you to have faith in. In other words, that which created us is not limited by the laws we think we're limited by. That which created us works outside of our belief system and what we think can happen. That's good news.
Yeah.
So he says, we basically need to have faith that that which created us does not have the limits that we've imposed on it or us.
Wow.
It is essential for your release of the concept of toil and your acceptance of your function here. So if you're ever going to let go of the idea that you need to toil, he's saying that we have to at some point be willing to entertain the idea that that which created us is not limited by the same concepts and beliefs and laws that we think we are. Right. Or is you going to always think you got to work your butt off and that you just couldn't easily receive. I remember reading an article about this singer named Adele, who's really, really hot right now, just won 6 Grammys. And she says, and people ask about her success and everything, and she was saying, she really wished she could say it had been hard, but it hadn't. It's like everybody wants to do the starving artist, hard for you to make it story. Right. And she was saying, really, what I did was made a demo, put it on Facebook, a producer heard it and gave me a recording contract, and we put it out, and now I'm here. See, but she was doing what she loved, and she was doing, and the other thing she said was the most popular song that she has out, I think, is "Rolling in the Deep" or some song that has to do with a boyfriend or a breakup of a relationship. And so when she came to the studio, she was beat. She was hurt. She was mad. She was angry. She was going through it. And so she went in there and she sung that song as a catharsis. She said, I wasn't thinking about nobody else. She was straight up. She said, I wasn't like trying to come up with a song for everybody else out there to love. Right. She said that was the result basically of my authenticity mixed with my creativity. And that's what I've got to do in my life now. I've got to mix my authenticity with my creativity because I don't feel like I'm being true to who I am now. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I've changed on the inside, and so now I don't feel like I'm being true to myself until I'm true to who I am now. My authenticity must be mixed with my creativity in order for me to have happiness. Wow. Wow. So I love when she said that. Yeah. And also she didn't have to look like no runway model, even though she's beautiful to me. And she didn't have to have all kinds of fancy stuff going on. The girl just stands in front of the microphone and sings her butt off.
That's right.
So she was showing up as her real self. She said she refused to go through all that stuff. And so she didn't. And that's what I lesson from her. Thank you, Adele. Stop freaking compromising, Raj. Stop compromising. Lose them. Lose everybody who wouldn't let you be yourself. Lose them.
That's right.
Let them jokers go. They don't love you no way if they can't let you be. But I gotta have them. I gotta need them. Well, they'll be there because you won't let them go. So you win either way. You'll cling and you'll have them, or you'll let it go. Either way, you're innocent. Yep. Isn't that great? So the only rule is give up what you don't want and keep what you do. Okay, everybody got the rule? Give up what you don't want, keep what you do want. Is that everybody with me on that?
Yes.
Give up what you don't want, keep what you do want. So it's not nothing heavy to figure out. Do you want to stay in that relationship? If you do, stay. If you don't want it anymore, let it go. But I don't don't know. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't want to even let that job go now. Oh, I don't know what I need to do. You know? Yeah, that's because you think you're taking care of yourself.
True.
That's why you're scared. You think you're taking care of yourself. Because you're grown.
And you feel like you got to follow the rules. And there's, you know, these
You do.
rules, man-made,
You do have to follow the
made rules,
Yeah.
and stuff. That's what's cool about that Adele story. She didn't follow the rules. She just acted upon an emotion and love.
I've done what I wanted to do in my life for the last 30 years. And it's certainly because I followed the rules.
Right.
But I never would have attempted it on my own without God. See, that's the difference between me and what I see going on with a lot of folk. They want to go out here and do their thing, but they want to do it on their own without checking in with their higher power within themselves to get that guidance and their communication. They still think they're taking care of themselves, so they have to take care of themselves, because what you believe is what your reality presents you with. And so if your consciousness is that you're on your own, the universe won't help you because you want to be on your own. So you're getting your wish. Deep.
Wow.
Deep. Yeah. You want to be on your own? Well, that's why you're having to do everything by yourself. That's why you're doing everything by yourself. Wow. So I keep on wanting goals that I can't do alone. See, I don't know how to love everybody unconditionally. So if I set a goal like that, that's a request for help, because it's beyond what I can do on my own.
Right.
So whenever you ask for something that you think is beyond what you can do on your own, the Course teaches that then you're no longer alone, because that's an automatic request for assistance. So just think about that the next time you get ready to do something on your own. That you're saying, universe, I want to do it by myself. And it will let you. But it will look like other people aren't cooperating with you. It will look like other people are not supporting you like you want them to. But the truth is, they are just obeying your particular edict. Which is, I want to do it on my own. I'm on my own. I'm all alone. I've got to do it myself. And the universe says, yes, do it yourself. And then you get mad at the person. You know, you wouldn't even attempt to lift the car alone. You wouldn't even attempt it. So ask for stuff bigger than what you think you can do on your own. So you can get some help and get some cool stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Love that.
Yeah. I want to love all y'all. I don't know how to do that. So I got to get help. See what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I say I want to love you, Jeff, and I think it's something I can do, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make up what it should be like. And then I'm going to try to hold you to what I've made up it should be like. But if I say I'm going to love everybody in this room, that's too big for me. So I immediately have to go, how would I do that? So when you got that love, you think control freak, you got control of, you just have a love you're probably going to kill. You're going to kill it with your scripts. You're going to kill it with your insecurities. Because I learned a long time ago that when you compromise in a relationship in the sense of giving up something of yourself, your freedom, who you are, because you want to please the other person and you want to make them feel safe, the only thing they do is ask for you to restrict something else. They just keep on asking for you to do less and less and less. You think, well, dog, I gave in, and now, you want to be home at 5. Now I'm coming home at 5 no matter what. Now you want me home at 5 and wearing Speedos.
I love that.
You see what you love it, see? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then you wear the Speedos, and then they'll come up with, and then you gotta have a wig on. And so people who are afraid and insecure, and they haven't dealt with their own issues, all they do is keep trying to limit you more and more and more and more and more, and control you more and more and more and more, because they're afraid. And they believe that the only way they can be safe is to control everybody around them. That's what fearful people do. Not that they're just trying to be cruel, they're afraid, and they try not to be afraid, and they think their way of not being afraid is to control everybody. That's how you can tell that a person is really afraid. They're control freaks. They're trying to control the unknown. They're trying to control what hasn't even happened yet. That's deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we actually try to control the unknown. We call it our plans. That's all they are. They're nothing but our attempts to control the unknown because we don't have faith in God. In God's guide, our Creator's guidance. That's what the book says. Course in Miracles said. That's hardcore. That's hardcore statement.
Yes.
Yeah, you know why you're playing. Why? Well, you're playing because you don't really have any faith that I'll take care of you. You don't even have any faith that I exist. So that's why you're playing it. Instead of carrying out a plan. I really could give you a plan, and it would be the perfect plan for you, and you'd love this plan, but you won't ask me what it is because you're busy making up your own plan. And so that's because you don't even think I exist. And then you freak out because your plan doesn't work, but you don't realize your plan wasn't based on anything real. It was just based on your ideas, and your ideas are not universal laws of God. I went, woo. Could you just told me what was going to be on TV tonight? Yeah, I'm asking for guidance from God. And I'm like, lighten up. What's on HBO? Because when I ask for guidance, these books talk about if you do it right, you should start hearing your inner guidance. And it's not kidding. If you really do it, you really will start to hear your own inner guidance. And it won't mean that you're some kind of schizophrenic. You know, you really start getting guidance from your higher self, or God, if you please. And it'll just talk to you like that. That's how I get talked to. Oh, you want to do it by yourself. Okay. You innocent. You can always tell the voice of love. It's going to always say, oh, you can do that. But you innocent, but it ain't going to work. As a matter of fact, every time you have a plan that you make up that fails, I love it. What? Yeah, I think because that's the sooner you getting that much closer to surrendering to me. Every time one of your plans fails, every time when your relationships go up in smoke, it makes you even more determined to have one that's real and to find out what that entails instead of just being programmed, hypnotized, mesmerized, doing what everybody before you has done who didn't even know how to do it themselves. Isn't that great that you're going to fail? That's wonderful. So some of y'all might be closer to your real love and real happiness than you've ever been before because you just experienced what you call either the worst relationship or the biggest failure you ever had in your life.
Yep.
Great! I remember when I first started teaching, I was teaching in the South, and I was teaching all this spiritual, metaphysical stuff, which, you know, could seem dangerous.
Right.
You know, I'm sharing that there's no hell in sin, and a person was made out of it. All right? And I was talking to this Indian guru one time when I went to do a workshop, and I was saying that, and I was telling him because I felt like if I really told my truth, I could get killed because I was on TV and everything. And that was a fear that came up. Because I don't know about y'all, but I noticed there seems to be a connection between people trying to be peaceful and loving and getting taken out of here. Like Gandhi King, I could give you a whole bunch of Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's trying to be loved. We in such an insane place. They're the first ones to go, and the hell raisers live to be 89 years old. And I'm like going, so I'm afraid. What might happen to me if I really tell my truth? I got to get killed. And he looked at me. He said, so what? Trip me out.
Yeah.
He said, so what?
Yeah.
He was so aware of his eternal validity, his eternal nature, his spiritual self, who he really was beyond the body, beyond death, which is what we all are, that the loss of the body to him was no big deal. That if it was an issue of being himself and being his authentic self and dying, he wasn't afraid to die. Then I realized I'd never be free as long as I was afraid to die. And I don't mean I'm gonna break out some Kool-Aid for y'all, nothing like that. There was a time it might have would have been a joint, but not Kool-Aid. But anyway, it would have been a happy class. It was a peaceful class in the world. I don't care about nobody. No anger about nobody. I love everybody in here. And then you see the whole class drive off at 15 miles an hour. Nobody gets run over. Anyway.
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry, I talk like a real person. Forgive me. I know I'm not supposed to do that because I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. So you're supposed to say stuff like that. Oh God. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make the decision that we're willing to let go of the idea that I have to toil in order to be happy and fulfilled. Would y'all be willing to entertain that idea?
Yes.
That it's possible for me to have a fulfilling life without struggle.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, would you like that?
Yes.
Would you like that to happen?
Yeah.
So it said, you need not concern yourself with anything other than this goal. The attitude of life is toil, as toil is part of your rebellion against the ideas of service. God works outside of time. It doesn't take time to be who you are.
Right.
It takes time to be what you are not.
Wow.
You have to learn to be to not be the loving, powerful spiritual being. You have to learn stuff like, I'm not enough, I'm not loved, I'm not appreciated, I'm not smart, I'm not beautiful. See, I had to learn all the stuff that wasn't true about me. But to be me right here with you all tonight doesn't take any time. If I decide to be my authentic self right now, it wouldn't take any time. It doesn't take any time for you either. But it does take time for you to be your imaginary self. So if you sit up here thinking about what you're going to be in the future, your imaginary self, then it looks like it's going to take a few months, a few weeks, and a few years before you can be happy.
Oh, too much work.
That's how you know it's not you. It's going to take you too long to be it.
Yep.
It means you acting out somebody else's script about who you should be. You've been paying attention to too many commercials. Too many magazines. You've been letting the world tell you who you are. Wow. And I used to believe it. I used to believe if I didn't wear a certain color during certain times of the year, I was really messing up. I have people compliment me every day on sweaters that are 20 years old that I never stop wearing. But if you want to change with the seasons, part of being innocent is that you do that too, and you feel cool about it. You know, I wouldn't be caught dead in the fall wearing white. You know, if that's really important to you, then you better get you a whole bunch of white coats. And you need to feel innocent about wearing them.
Oh, that's funny.
You need to be going, okay, I like white. I feel cool with that. I'm going to go out here. You know what I'm saying? I had no problem with people wearing white sheets, but that's a whole other You know what I'm saying? I was in a band one time, I swear. I was in a band one time, I was the only black dude in the band. It was back in the 60s when civil rights stuff was just getting started. And man, we went out in the country to play for this private party, and it was the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
And I played saxophone. I played my ass off that night. I was doing solos. I didn't think I was. I need to thank the Ku Klux Klan for the improvement of my musicianship. That's forgiveness, ain't it? Huh? So, would you acknowledge yourself for hearing this much Holy Spirit? I knew he was coming with the money bag. I knew it. Say, I want to thank you all for sharing with me. I teach full time in the world, and I do it on a love offering basis so that people can come regardless of their financial situation. So thank you for your generosity. Thank you for feeling that what I have to share with you is valuable enough to share in a way that allows me to continue my ministry.
Yeah.
So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sunday at 1 o'clock is the next class, the Course in Miracles class. And I would love for you to give yourself another dose of the truth. Because it's about reminding yourself. Those of you who came for the first time tonight, a couple of things I want to tell you. Love to have you on the contact list so I can let you know about workshops and classes and other things that I'm doing. Also, I video everything that I do and put it on YouTube. So if you Google Earl Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y, or go to my website, I've got hundreds of classes like this. So if a person gets a chance no matter what to, because it's different. A lot of stuff I say tonight is different from what we've been taught. And so we need to get the truth reinforced. And if you ask yourself, well, what did I really focus on? What I really focused on was your how much you deserve love. So if that makes me suspicious, you might want to question what's going on with you.
Yeah.
If you got a problem with a person telling you that you deserve to be loved, something maybe in your own mind needs to be corrected. You know, I'm giving what I want to receive. I found that that's the easiest way to have it. I took me out on Valentine's Day.
All right.
Yeah, and I got lucky. And I ain't never turned myself down. And I gave myself a hand. Yes. Yeah. And so then somebody might hear me and they go, well, I'll never come back to him anymore. And they actually would think that would be a loss to me. That is so funny. That is so funny when people do that to me. You know what I'm saying? They'll think it's a loss to you for somebody who doesn't like you and is afraid of you to not want to be around you anymore, because I used to chase after people like that. And I would be like, oh no, you need to love me. Oh, please come back. Oh, please forgive me. No, please, I promise you, I'm going to do it different this time. I'm going to do it better. You know, it's like, now it's like, oh, something that hates me wants to go.
Yes.
Can I call you a cab? I'll even pay for it. You don't recognize how cool I am? You're going to attack me for wanting to be loving to you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you can go. And I promise you, you'll have another partner or another friend. There's somebody out there that wants to be denigrated. And they'll fall right in love with you. Yeah. So you'll never be alone, no matter what level of consciousness you're on. Because somebody wants you just the way you are, somewhere. Isn't that great to know? That however you are, somebody wants you that way.
That's right.
They need you that way. But I think people will be so blessed to have you all in their lives. Because that's the way I feel.
Thanks.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. I'm going to get 1 minute to wind down. My past is over, and it can touch me not. The past is over. It can touch me not. The past is over. It can touch me not. The past is over. It can touch me not. The past is over. It can touch me not. The past is over. It can touch me not. The past is over. It can touch me not. And the present is my point of power. The present is my point of power. Right now, the present is my point of power. The present is a point of power. And take a breath. Okay, mighty companions, you're getting ready to go back out into the lab. Thank you for loving yourself enough to let yourself hear some loving thoughts about you.
Yep. And some masculinity.
You're preparing yourself to receive all the cool stuff that's always been wanting to get to you, but you haven't been willing to allow it. You're about to be assaulted by everything you've ever wanted in a way that's peaceful and loving. It's just going to come from every direction, and so part of you might get afraid and try to create a little drama. So don't do that. Don't try to hold off your good by coming up with another one of your dramas. All right? I know the Academy Awards are this Sunday, but and you would win. You would win. We all know you got the best story of all. Oscar for Best Actor of Black Man. Earl, you did black good.
Yeah.
You did it so good you think you are it.
Wow.
You did man so good you think you are one.
Yeah.
I'm a spiritual being having a human experience.
Love that.
Just like you. You're an infinite being having a human experience. But you're more than your bodies. I know your bodies are juicy and luscious. I know sometimes people mistake you for your body and they want your body. But we know that who you really are is even more juicy and luscious. Even more powerful. That you are light. You're the light of the world. It's your job. It's to be happy, to show people it's possible to be happy here.
Nice. Love that.
I want you to be happy so you can show it's possible to be happy here. Don't be afraid to be your authentic self mixed with your creativity. Okay?
Okay.
You can help me remember that too, all right? Okay, may the chorus be with you.
Yes.
Whoa! Chords are available. And if you're interested in maybe doing a one-on-one session with me, take one of these orange sheets and check it out. And we can do that.
Free.
There's only one way to do it.